Welcome to January in Australia, or as I like to call it, Mordor. Mordor. The sun is relentless, the ground is baking, and this is the time of year that most gardeners give up. You water in the morning, and by lunchtime, your veggies look like they've given up the will to live. But step into the Shire, and it's a different story. Look at this green, lush, and alive. And the best part about this is I haven't watered this for about 2 weeks. Today, I'm going to show you how to design a garden that drinks its own water. We're going to cover two major weapons in our permaculture arsenal. The swales for the broad landscape, and Ollas for the kitchen veggies. Put down the hose, let's get smart.
Join the dance of the permaculture where we work with nature, song, mulch and shade, let moisture linger, this is where our hearts belong. Stop the struggle, take your stand, let our laughter fill the air, build a shire hand in hand in this earth, we will declare. Mulch piled high like a fortress of grace, while the neighbor's garden is a laborious race. He scrapes and he fights in the heat of the day while we...
First, let's look at the big picture here. When it rains, it pours, a real gully washer. In a normal backyard, the water rushes over the grass, takes the topsoil with it, and then disappears down the stormwater drain. That is a wasted resource. This is a swale. It looks like a ditch, but it's actually a battery. Well, a water battery. A swale is simply a ditch dug perfectly level along the contour of the land. When the rain hits, it fills this ditch. But because it's level, the water doesn't flow away, it sits still. It sits there, slowly sinking deep into the ground, hydrating the subsoil. It creates a plume of water underneath the mound. That is why these trees on the mound are so happy. Their roots are tapping into a hidden reservoir of water that we stored the last time it rained. I call this passive watering. I did the work once by digging the swales, and now the landscape waters itself forever. If you have any slope at all on your property, you need to think about swales.
We gather around the table with bounty to share.
Now, I can hear you screaming at the screen saying, "Gazza, that looks like a lot of hard yakka." And I thought this was supposed to be the lazy guide. And look, I won't lie to you, digging a swale is one day of pure cardio. Or it can be one whole weekend of feeling like you're a dwarf in the mines of Moria. Your neighbours will look over the fence and wonder if you're digging a trench for a medieval war or just losing your mind. There is one trade-off. You sweat for one weekend and then you retire from watering those trees forever. I would rather blister my hands once than stand there every single afternoon with a hose, like a garden gnome with heat stroke. Dig it once, watch it work forever. That is the Hobbit way. Or, if you really want, you can just go hire an excavator or a bobcat.
Gather round, my friends, let me share a tale so wise about the ancient ways of gardens beneath the sunny skies. When the parched earth cries out and the summer scorches high, we'll keep our plants a-growing, so listen now, don't shy.
Swales handle all your big landscaping trees, but what about your delicate veggies? Your tomatoes, your pumpkins, your herbs. If you water them with a hose or a sprinkler in this heat, you're just wasting your time. 50% of that water evaporates before the plant even gets to drink it. It just vanishes into dry air. We need to put the water where the sun can't find it, underground. This is an Oya. It's 4,000-year-old technology. It's basically an unglazed clay pot. Because it's unglazed, the clay is porous, it sweats. When you bury this and fill it with water, the moisture slowly seeps into the soil.
Now these pots they'll whisper to your plants.
Here is how we install it in the Shire. Dig a hole and put it right in the middle of your plants. Then bury the pot. Bury it up to its neck. Then the lid. Place a saucer on top, or a stone or a tile to stop evaporation and stop the mosquitoes breeding. Then fill it up with water.
Planting seeds of knowledge, sowing hope in every rhyme. Oh, the ancient secret life.
The roots of the plants will actually sense the water source and wrap themselves around that clay pot. They drink exactly as much as they need. It's the most efficient irrigation system ever invented.
Stay, fill it up with water and watch the life sway. Join me now, my neighbors.
Now, if you want the budget Hobbit version and you don't have clay pots, use rubbish. Take an old plastic bottle, poke holes in the bottom half, bury it next to your plant with its neck sticking out, and just fill it with water. This is called deep pipe watering. It forces water deep down into the root zones. If you surface water, the roots stay near the surface, where it's hot and dry. If you deep water, the roots dive down deep, where it's cool. You're training your plants to be resilient warriors, not spoilt brats.
A symphony of nature, a dance of every heart.
So we have swales catching the big rains and we have Oyas and bottles watering the roots. But there's one final rule to survive the Australian summer. You know the drill, slip, slop, slap. You wouldn't run around the beach in January completely naked. Well, I wouldn't. So why do you let your soil go naked? Bare soils in Australia isn't just dry, it's dead. The UV radiation sterilises the top layer, killing the bacteria and the fungi we need. It's turning your living earth into dead dust.
Look at this, bare soil, 46 degrees Celsius. That cooks roots. Mulch soil, right next to it, 27 degrees. That is the difference between a dead plant and a happy plant. We need to put a blanket on.
Wood chip whispers making nature shout. Straw hug the ground, keeps the moisture right in the dance of the garden, holding on.
But not all blankets are the same. So here is the rule of thumb for the Shire. For trees, the wood chip blanket. Trees love fungi. Fungi loves wood. So, for my fruit trees, I use coarse wood chip. They break down slowly and encourage the fungal networks that connect the forest. For veggies, the straw blanket. Vegetables are softer. They like bacteria. So I use sugarcane mulch, lucerne, or straw. It breaks down fast, feeds the worms, and keeps the moisture in. And don't be stingy. I see people sprinkling mulch like it's Parmesan cheese on pasta. It does nothing. There's a general 4-finger rule people talk about when it comes to the thickness of the mulch. Basically, the thickness of your hand, if you can see my fingers, that's the minimum of the mulch that you should have around your plants. What you want is about 7 to 10 centimeters, or what's that, 3 to 4 inches of fluffy mulch. You need it thick enough to block the sun, but light enough to let the rain through. Finally, the best mulch of all is the living mulch. See this pumpkin? It's basically a green solar panel that covers the ground. By planting ground covers, like pumpkins, sweet potato, nasturtiums, you create a living umbrella that shades the soil and gives you food. Nature doesn't do naked. She wears layers. Dress your soil, folks.
See? Stylish and cool. What do you think, Winston? How's your pile of wood chip? Good? With every sweet season, watch our garden grow. So come on together, let's show the earth love with a combo for soil, a garden we dream of. Slip, slop, slap, let the wood chips flow. Together we'll tend, let the whole world know.
You don't have to be a slave to your hose. With a little bit of design, water access structures, you can build a system that is resilient. While the rest of the street is brown and crispy, the Shire remains green. If you want to see how I make my Ollas step by step, let me know in the comments and I'll do a build video. And don't forget to like and subscribe to keep the Shire growing. Stay cool, drink water, and I'll see you in the next one.
Laughing about the veggies, dance with the bees. Come on friends, it's easy, just say yes please. Pulling weeds and making jokes, it's the perfect vibe. Hit that subscribe button, come join the tribe. Like and subscribe, we're sowing seeds of joy. Turning dirt